Well, good morning. It's now about 11 o'clock on Saturday the 5th of October. I'm Andy and this is my allotment. Must apologise for my absence on YouTube for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I've had time issues really with Saturdays, with new grandson getting 6 months old, getting to see a lot more of him, so things have been let slide on the allotment. I have done a couple of videos, but unfortunately my technology skills aren't that brilliant, and I did all the editing, put them all together, started uploading them to YouTube, decided I'd tidy up and clear off the raw files before the upload had finished, and I found afterwards that's something you can't do. So I deleted my masters and the upload never worked, so I lost everything. But anyway, here I am today and I'm not going to make the same mistake again. Right, starting off as always at this end of the allotment on the potato bed. As you can see, half the potatoes are out, the other half have been cut back, and apologies for the grass at the front. I really must get on with clearing all that out. It's just grass growing in front of the bed itself. There's not really that much grass in the bed. There's a bit, but not a lot. I've taken half the potatoes, as I say. The other half are still being stored in the bed. They've got to come out hopefully later on today, tomorrow, and I'll store them at home if I can do. The buckets at the back have all been emptied. Now that is a lot of grass in there, to be honest. The soil on the right hand side has come from the buckets. On the left hand side is just where the grass has spilled over and the weeds have spilled over into it. I need to get in there and get a damn good clean out, and then there is actually a path underneath there which is just completely covered in weeds, so hopefully we'll get rid of that soon. Right, moving on to my original square foot gardening bed. Most things are out of this now because we're getting to the end of the season. There's some perpetual spinach in there, there's some peas which need to be taken out, few spring onions left in there, not out yet, some rainbow chard, some broccoli at the back which is going to flower. I'm going to cut the flowers off and harvest the broccoli heads off that, the spears off that, so that should be nice. And my leaning tower of French beans, loads of beans on that. I'm going to start picking those hopefully later on today again. Now in about an hour and a half time we're having a tidy up day on the allotment, a general tidy up, so I haven't got a lot of time on here today. Looking at the brassicas, my cabbages, a few bits around the edge that are getting a bit nibbled, but we've had one of these red cabbages out and it's been absolutely fantastic. As you can see, there's quite a few of them in there. I think I planted them a little bit too close together, but inexperienced that. And there's one here which is outside. I've left the stalks in from the red cabbage, which I think I'm going to take out because it's doing nothing. And in and amongst my gooseberry bushes I've got some cracking dock leaves coming up. I'm going to get my hands scratched a bit pulling those out, but hey, that's what happens. Okay, fruit. This side has gone absolutely wild again. All these raspberry bushes here, raspberry canes rather, are falling over everywhere. I need to tidy them up. I need to get some stakes in at either end and some wires. I basically tie them up to it. The summer fruiting canes are going to be cutting out. The winter canes are going to be cut back. There's just too much happening here. This bed just needs good weed. It's where we dumped all the soil when we made the shed, made the shed base rather, dug it down level, dumped all the soil in this bed, didn't bother whether it's upside down or whatever, and this is the result. We've got weeds everywhere. Again, a lot to do. Far side, all the dill is now finished, and the chervil has gone completely, so I need to trim all that back, get it right cut back down. All this yellow stuff is the dill, which is finished, which is all flowered up. Now, strawberry bed. All this lot down here is strawberries. There is underneath there oregano, marjoram and mint and sage. You can see the sage coming through there. That's about the only thing that is coming through, and a bit of mint. So what I'm going to do is trim all these back, take all the leaves right down to the crowns on the strawberries, and pot up the runners that are running all over the path at the moment. I'm hoping to get lots of decent runners off this because they were good last year, a lot of these. Rhubarb is now starting to die back. I'm going to leave it fall down. It's a couple of weeks since the last video you've just probably seen. Apologies for the huge gap in videos, but I'm having a few technical problems, or more than a few to be honest. So I'm filming this on my phone at the moment, so if the quality is not brilliant, that's why. It's now Saturday morning and we're on the 18th of October, I believe it is. Back on the plot again. Now, we were looking at the strawberries last time, if I remember rightly, when the camera died, and I've started trimming them back, cutting them back, and basically removing all the runners from here. Now, they've all been potted up and are on the table over here. I'll just walk over and show you. As you can see, there's quite a few of them, and I've got lots more to go. So, from having no strawberries last year and a problem, this year I'm having absolutely loads of strawberries, so I hope. Anyway, moving on. Quick tour again. Rhubarb bed. The rhubarb is dying back as it should do. When this is all gone completely, I'm going to mulch this with manure. Get the weeds out first, obviously, mulch it up with manure and leave it for the winter. Being very careful not to cover the crowns of the rhubarb with the manure, otherwise they would rot over the winter and die. So hopefully this will be a nice productive area next year. Right, polytunnel. Now, when I came in last time, I opened the flap to find that all my tomatoes had blight. So they've all been trimmed back, all chopped off. These are just basically waiting to be put on the compost pile and the soil reused. The chilies, however, are still doing fine. And you can see on there, there's still quite a lot of chilies on there, all turning red, which is a wonderful sight. Now, I went to holiday last week, and before I went, I came down here to have a check on the polytunnel and the grounds because we had really strong winds that week. And I noticed that one of my squashes had been blown over and actually snapped. And there he is. Now, let's get my hand in there so you can see the size. He's a decent one. That was baby squash. So he's ripening quite nicely in there, hardening off, and hopefully I'll be taking him home to finish off the ripening process. As you can probably hear underfoot, it is very wet today, and in the polytunnel I've got standing water again. I've actually done something about it this time. I've dug a small drainage trench from here, through the lip of earth that was blocking it before, into that bit there where the new soil is. That is my old drainage trench with the stones underfoot, underneath here. You can hear. So the water is slowly draining away. It's going to take time. I don't expect miracles overnight, obviously. I'm probably going to have to dig it down a bit deeper than this, to be honest, looking at it, because I think this is still quite low, quite high rather. Maybe a bit more later, I don't know. Now, moving on. This is just a rubbish pile. I need to get this sorted. What I'm going to do here is, on the left hand side I'm going to have a bed, which is going to be my potting out bed, if you like, for things that are coming out of the polytunnel but don't have a space yet because the other things haven't finished. On the right hand side is going to be flags with barrels on it, water barrels coming down from the shed roof. Not sure if you've seen inside the shed, but I'll show you again anyway, just in case. In here now, if you can see it in this light, I have a shelving unit, an IKEA shelving unit, which I got for free from FreeCycle. Wonderful thing. And hopefully this will be everything I need. The floor is now finished, wooden floor, all done with scaffolding boards, and so is the roof, as you can see. So it's quite a hefty shed. This isn't going anywhere. Right, remainder of the quick tour. Look to the fruit. The raspberries over here are obviously going wild. I need to get in here and trim these back and get some supports at either end of the bed, and then basically get them wired up so they're actually standing up, because at the moment they're coming through the strawberries on the other side. The herbs in the other bed, which I had marjoram, sage and a couple of mints, they're going to come out because they're being swamped by the strawberries, which I never thought I'd say, but they are. And so they're going to come out, and what's going to happen is that bed on the other side is going to be purely for strawberries. And this bed at the end here, where I had the dill, the coriander and chervil, they're all going to be chopped right back, and that's going to be strawberries only as well. This bed on the front here is going to have some more fruit bushes put in it, possibly black currants, possibly red currants, I don't know yet. Or I might just continue the theme and have raspberries here, I don't know, I haven't decided. Where the potatoes were needs a lot of weeding. Grass has taken over on one side, and then where I dump the soil from the pipe box on this side is fine. Gooseberries, doing great, apart from the fact there's a dock leaf growing right through the middle of it. Again, everywhere needs weeding. The weeds just come up like I don't know what. Because I'm only able to get down here now 1 day a week, because being a new grandparent, we've got grandparent duties and looking after baby Jack. He comes down and helps every now and then. Helped me pick some beans last time he came down. I bent down to pick some at the bottom, and as I straightened up he had all the plant and rooted it for me, which was wonderful. Wasn't quite what I wanted, but well, they finished anyway. Right, cabbages in here, and I can see an absolutely huge slug in there, so I'm going to have to get in there and get that. Some are being a bit ravaged, as you can see, and that's going to be slugs. So again, I've got to get in there and get that one out, because that's just waste of space. Some of the others, perhaps again too tightly planted, and the netting they're underneath is just collapsing, so these need to come out. Broccoli, going to seed. Wasn't like that when I went away, but obviously a week away is a long time on a plot, and this is what's happened. And my green beans is now a leaning tower of green beans. They're a bit of a funny angle, but as you can see, there's still loads of beans on there, so they're going to be harvested today. In the middle of here, I'll get round to it, there is lots of spinach in the middle, some perpetual spinach and normal spinach. The peas have really gone completely, and there's not a lot else in here, to be honest, anymore. This is pretty much finishing off, and a lot of this is coming out, so the bed will be cleared, ready for next year, and hopefully be able to do a bit more with it this year. The comfrey's fallen over, it's gone everywhere. This is all going to be chopped back today. It's just blocking my main path as well at the moment, which is a nuisance. That's my main path right the way through the allotment, so I have to make a dog leg to get down there now. So this has all been chopped back. I'm probably going to replant the comfrey somewhere else, because where it is here is great, but it's just in the way when it does this. So I might put it on the back. I might actually put it behind the polytunnel, because it's soft. It's not going to cause a problem to the polytunnel if it gets windy and bashed into it, and it's also out the way there. So that's how I think I'm going to do with it. Final courgettes. Took a monster off this yesterday, and there's still bits coming on these now. Small courgettes, not a lot happening with them. Tomatillos. Now, despite my expectations these would die outside, they're doing well. They're coming on. Lots and lots of flowers, as you can see, but I think there's only 1 or 2 paper lanterns, as you can see in there. Now these are going to be obviously staying on the plant and ripening. All the tomatoes are planted outside not got blight actually, which I'm surprised at, because the ones inside got blight. These are just simply dying back. But too late for them to come out, really. They've not done very much, so I'm not surprised. Big perpetual spinach on the end there, which is going to be harvested mostly today. Sweet corn I put in very late. Nothing's going to happen with these now, but hey, what have I lost? 10 minutes of my time planting them up. There's lots of seed pods coming on them, or pollen pods, or whatever you call them at the top. I'm going to give those a try and just see how long they last. You never know, we might have a wild snap and they might carry on. Again, what have I lost? Right, this is a square foot gardening bed, which I've got a separate series of videos coming up on, so I'm not going to tell you much about those. Right, this bed, we have some fruit bushes. This is a white currant at the end here, which I've been given, and then all the twigs alongside it are red currant cuttings from the red currant bush at the back. So there's a lot of red currants which have got a chance of coming back. They're all down to bare twigs now. There's not a lot else happening on them. If they survive, they survive. If they don't, well, I've not lost anything again. It was a free cycle gift. And a few leeks in there. Going a little bit rusty on some of them, and there is a seed head on one there right in the middle. But that's about all that's a problem, really. Right, brassicas. These brassicas in here, Brussels sprouts mainly, are doing really well. You can probably see better from the other side when I get around there. But again, looking a bit tatty, but they're growing. And then up this end, I've got lots of cabbage. Big red cabbages in there. And again, I need to get in there and harvest 1 or 2 of those. Now, one thing that was a surprise to me this time when I came looking around was that my pumpkin has thrown out another vine around the back of the beans, which I hadn't seen before, and it's got a huge pumpkin on the end of it. Now this is the baby. This is smaller than the one I've already harvested, but still a fair size. Let's try and get in there. It's a bit awkward to get over, but there. As you can see, it's probably 8 inches across and going around probably 16 inches from one side to side. Right, the beans. This is all that's left of the bean patch. I did pull down the beans the other day, and I did do a big video of it and then deleted it. Stupid. But these are now the French beans, which were late coming on and are still going strong. There's still lots of beans coming on. Still a few flowers coming on as well, but nothing major. Right, let's go past these and to the pumpkins and courgettes. As I said, the courgettes are still doing okay, still getting courgettes off them. Nothing major really. Now this is another squash which is still trying to produce. Little butternut squash type thing there. But there's the baby, the daddy. This one's still going strong. 12 inches across, probably 2'6" in diameter, doing well. And the courgette plant. Oh, I forgot to show you when I was down the other side. The mystery squash, the one I thought was a pumpkin, turned out to be a butternut. So God knows where that came from, because I didn't plant that. But I'm not complaining. Stuff for free is always good for me. I'll show you the sprouts now. They've fallen over because I've not been able to get down here because the polytunnel, the bean tunnel collapsed. But the sprouts coming on them, better than I did last year. But all the sprouts have fallen over, so I may take this off and stand them up with some stakes. Not a job for today, I haven't got a lot of time, but anyway, that's where we stand. Quick view around the whole plot, and thanks for watching, and apologies it's been so long since I've been back on, but I am hoping that by next week my technical problems will be sorted and we'll go back to my camera. So anyway, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye from my allotment.